Hey everybody, there is Werrell here, and welcome to Deathmark, also known as Spirit Hunter Deathmark. This was actually one of the first games I tried to cover when I initially got the PlayStation TV, but unfortunately that PlayStation TV balked after I did the first session of the game, so that's fun. And weirdly enough, it's been I'm trying to think how long it's been, 7 or 8 months? I know I was in the middle of doing Hellpoint at the same time, so it's crazy that it's been so long for me to get back around to it. And if you don't know, this is an adventure slash horror slash visual novel. It's very good. So hey, want to hit up the karaoke place? The new Love and Hero song is out. I'm not feeling up to it today. This story creeped me out earlier. Do you want to hear it? And also, there's going to be a lot of reading, because, you know, visual novel. Oh? Sure. You remember Miss Yamaguchi? She wears those big glasses. I heard she's gone missing. What? No one knows where she is. Nope, she just disappeared. Just up and puffed from the library. One of the student librarians said she was researching something there, but then she vanished. But she's super diligent, right? One of the students thought it was weird that she'd up and leave like that. So he checked in on her, but when he did... Yee. The only thing left was her arm. It had a really weird scar on it, so it was definitely her arm. A scar? I would call it more of a mark. Yeah, it looked like a dog bite. She showed it to me once. She had no idea where it came from. For real? There was a scar like that on Miki's leg too. Huh? Miki? Wait, that's... the girl who went missing, yeah. Oh. That's crazy. Maybe that rumour is true. The one about the cursed scar. Cut it out, you're scaring me. And there we are! I hear snatches of an idiotic ghost story. They're speaking seriously, but it's obvious they don't believe a word. They're only killing time. Rumours are the best way to do that. But of course, the sun's about to set. It's gotten later than I planned. I shouldn't have stuck around to hear that story. I better hurry. No, I thought it was going to show something. Maybe it does. Thunder rumbles in the distance. Oh, beautiful. A huge mansion is in front of me. Strange. I'm sure I was just... My vision blurs. My ears are buzzing. Ugh, my head's swimming. It's almost like I'm drunk. What time is it? I glance at my wrist, but my watch is gone. Did I put it in my coat pocket? All I find is a business card. In elegant printed letters is a name. Sayakujo, Spirit Healer. On the back is a photo of the mansion. I guess this must be the Kujo Mansion then. Kujo Mansion, Sayakujo. Those names sound familiar somehow. On the way to find out. Taking a deep breath, I reach out to knock. I stop when I see something on my wrist. Here it is. Boom! Oh god, I've just realised there's a bunch of hands in the distance. Ew. It's a strange scar. When did that... I could just be imagining this, but I feel an icy chill when I look at it. But hell, we knocked so hard it shook the very earth. My fist pounds on the door. No reply. Oh. A light appears in a second floor window. It's probably too far from the door for them to hear me knocking. It's a big old house. Well, it's a mansion, I guess. I grasp the doorknob and find it unlocked. No point in staying outside. I'll just go in. I'll apologise to the owner later. Yeah, I think when I did this initially, I made it to the end of chapter 1. Oh, it's so dark. I hope it shows up okay. It's very dark. I think it's about as dark as it is for me, but I'll just check. The inside is shrouded in darkness. Yeah, it's about the same. That's fine. A small beam of light from the window is the only way I can see anything in here. It's dead silent except for the constant ticking of a clock's second hand. I must be in the entrance hall. The atrium extends to the second floor. Anyone home? There's no reply to my shout. Maybe they've soundproofed this place so they can't hear me down here. I guess I need to go upstairs then. The staircase is just visible up ahead. I walk toward it, cutting across the hall. My ears catch a strange noise. I turn to look where it's coming from. God, this creeped me out when I first played. Yeah, because you can see its eyes are open. Someone's there, enveloped by the dark. I think they're staring at me. Ignore them, talk to them, or approach them. Can I use... Hold up. I don't really care if I can, I'm just curious. Ah, shame. So I can ignore them, or I can talk to them, or approach. I'll talk. Hello? I call out, but the person remains silent. Approach then. Gulping, I hesitantly make my way over, trepidation slowing my steps. Oh, her eyes are shut. Oh, never mind. They were open! I'm certain. It's a young girl. She doesn't move an inch as I approach. At least it seems that way to me. It doesn't look like she's even breathing. A corpse. Great, I creep myself out. I start to sweat. What should I do? Back away or touch? Touch. With a shaky hand, I slowly reach out and touch her skin. I'm not sure what I expected, but it feels unnatural somehow. Stiff and cold. Like a corpse. Yeah. I press down on her arm and she makes the strange sound I heard earlier. Ah, now it makes sense. She's a doll. The doll's joints creak when they're moved. That's what made the noise. What a relief, if disappointing. Phew. I continue up the stairs. Oh. I carefully begin climbing the stairs, making sure not to trip. As I reach the landing, the sharp sound of a bell breaks the silence. It seems to be coming from above me. Yeah, the grandfather clock. Looking up, I can spy the outline of a clock. I bet that's what's making the sound. Approach it? What? Why would I do that? Approach. The noise guides me over. It's an antique grandfather clock. The noise is definitely coming from here. I reach toward the glass to check inside. Ooh. All of a sudden, it stops chiming. Silence descends, broken only by ticking. I guess it's fixed now, but that timing was a little too spot on. Was it really a coincidence? All these strange occurrences make me uneasy, but I continue on to the room with the light. Stepping in front of the door, I knock. But again, there's no reply. I try again, several times, even calling out, but there's still no answer. I push on the door. It's dark inside. Strange, I definitely saw lights on in here when I was outside. Wafting through the room is an odd smell. It's sugary, like a ripe fruit. The whole room is permeated with it. Some kind of aromatherapy, maybe. It's not a particularly pleasant smell, though. The aroma draws me further into the room. Ooh. Oh, that sounded squishy. The floor under my feet feels off. It's wet. It dawns on me that I'm smelling something else mixed in with the sweet smell. I know the scent, this metallic tang. Oh, God. Lightning flashes and I catch a glimpse of something. The startlingly grotesque object stretches out across the floor beneath me, beneath my feet. Something strange is there. Stare at it or look away. Ooh. Yeah, stare at it. I know what it is. It's a body. It's so bizarre that I can't stop staring. My God. Blooming flowers are everywhere. Huh. I'm just looking. It's like deadly premonition. Kinda. But I just don't get it. She's just bloomed flowers from her chest, and died as a result, I guess. Very, very weird. They're bursting out of the woman's stomach, her blood-soaked body overwhelmed with them. I wrench my gaze away, horrified. But the hellish image is burned into my mind. I can feel my entire body shaking. Bile rises. I'm going to throw up. Oh. Hi. Oh, don't do that, you creepy bitch. Oh. The body's gone. In the next instant, the lights are on. Wait, that's not all. The body is gone, leaving only a stain. Ugh. This doesn't make sense. It's a bad dream. At least, I'd really much prefer if it was. But the faint smell that remains in the bloodstain crush any hope I had of that. These are some loud doors. I beat a retreat from the room in an effort to escape this whole bizarre situation. Yeah, it was just a dream, just a dream, just a dream. Also, I've not actually tried this. I think log just pulls up, yeah, everything. Does it pull up all of the text? No way. No, it doesn't. That's still a lot of text. So when I stumble back into the hall, the lights are on in here as well. I decide to have another look around. All the furnishings in here are old enough to be antiques. They match this old-fashioned mansion. Hi! A large doll sits on my couch. This must be the figure I saw in the dark. One would easily mistake this for a human if they couldn't see the ball joints. True. Also, I've just realised that the still they used for the first one with the lights off, her eyes are still open. Probably belongs to the owner of the mansion. So what do I do now? Contact the police? Her stomach was full of flowers, sir, and the corpse up and vanished like fog. Like anyone would believe that. Welcome to Cujo Mansion. Oh, she blinked. The doll moved. It spoke. A different kind of shudder runs through me than the one when I found the corpse. Up until this point, I was nothing more than an observer to all these freaky events. I could distance myself from it, but now, a doll is talking to me. How? Have I startled you? If so, I sincerely apologise. My master ordered me to behave as a normal doll until told otherwise. The words are elegant and refined, but her face never moves an inch. She may look human, but she clearly isn't. Oh. She slowly folds her hands together, so she can move too. I'm sorry for not introducing myself. I am called Mary. You have likely seen a number of oddities here already. I see, my master Sayakujo was unable to escape from the mark then. Sayakujo? Does that mean that corpse? But wait, what's this about a mark? Lady Saya was searching for a way to escape the mark. Were you not also called here by her, because of the mark on your arm? She must be talking about this weird scar. Did Sayakujo invite me to this mansion? When I try to remember, my head hurts. I have something to tell you in place of my late master, but I would like to ask one thing first. Do you know your own name? Well, that was a much simpler question than I had been expecting. It's... Ooh. I don't know, I guess. I break out into a sweat. My throat is drying up. Why can't I answer? I'm shocked to find I'm coming up blank. Would it really be that panic-inducing? I guess. If you forget your own identity. I could suppose it could be. I see, then it is as I thought. Somehow Mary knows what's going on with me. Before I offer an explanation, please decide on a temporary name. Things will go much easier if I have a name by which to call you. It is also likely you will find it hard to remain calm if you are nameless. I mean, she has a point. She's probably right. Better to have some placeholder name than continue life as a hollow, nameless being. Hey Alzarath, how's it going? Enter the protagonist's last name. I'm going with the default. So we are Yoshiki Kazuo, I believe. Yeah, Kazuo Yoshiki. Is Kazuo Yoshiki? Okay. Yes. Oh yeah, I get to choose my character's look. I think the default look for Kazuo is this, so I'm probably going to go with this. Oh, you know, spotting the no glasses. It looks like you haven't slept in days. I'm also not too bad. Finally getting around to actually covering Deathmark. After the first attempt being, well, unable to be finished. Yeah, we'll just go with the default. Boop. Is this okay? It cannot be changed later. What if I take off my glasses? That's fine. I'm Kazuo Yoshiki. Understood, Lord Yoshiki. Now I shall explain to you about the mark. It is what you call a death mark. Oh, it is a death mark. It is the seal of death. Those who have it will soon die. You do not believe me? I'm certain this sounds absurd to one who has led an uneventful life. However, my master's death proves it to be irrefutably true. Yeah, the corpse's sweet stench comes back to me. That didn't seem like the work of humans. Yeah, you don't really just bloom flowers. I'm afraid that the horror of the mark does not stop there. Victims slowly lose their memories until the day they die. They face death all the while suffering from the terror of losing oneself. Memory loss? That can't be. That'd mean that I'm... Oh. Yes. The fact that you have forgotten your name proves that death is coming. Lord Yoshiki, you... are dying. Oh. Will die this very dawn. Deathmark! Oh, we can't even do like a Dawn of the First Day joke, because we'd be dead. Dusk of the First Day. There we go. 8 hours remain. My memory skipped forward a bit after that. I just remember being completely stunned at what Mary revealed to me. I could probably attribute it to memory loss caused by the mark. The next thing I know is... oh, the next thing I know... oh, we're in the room where you found the body. Oh, it's apparently a guest room, but it looks the exact same. What a nice place. I'm lying in a guest room in the mansion. I vaguely recall dragging myself up the stairs and coming here. I must have fallen asleep at some point, and thanks to that I feel a lot better. Is sleeping really such a good idea? If you are gonna die in several hours? I'll die at dawn, huh? I try saying it out loud. It's definitely shocking, but I can't say it feels real yet. It doesn't make sense, way out of the blue. But if it's true, is waiting for my untimely death the only thing I can do? It might be a good idea to ask Mary more about it. Yay! I find Mary sitting in the exact same spot as before. She hasn't moved an inch. I doubt a doll gets bored waiting like humans do. Good morning, Lord Yoshiki. Are you feeling better now? I mean, sort of. The nap was nice. Wonderful. Since it appears that you have calmed down, I would like to ask you a question. What will you do now? I can guide you down only 2 paths. The first is to wait for death. The second is to fight the mark. Can you help me? If that is what you wish, yes. My master was researching the mark. A few days prior to her death, she found a way to escape it. Regretfully, She passed away before she was able to inform me. So she doesn't know anything after all. There is some time yet before dawn. 2 hours. You have a slim chance. Salvation is a thin thread dangling from heaven. Would that you would grab hold of it, and I shall do my utmost to help. What will you do? Now we have one of those, deadly choices. I guess it boils down to whether I trust her. If she's right about all this, my time on Earth is up at dawn. If I don't want to die, then there's no other choice but to resist the mark until then. If she's lying, I'll be fine when morning comes. But am I really alright with that? People are being killed in nonsensical, grotesque ways. Am I going to turn a blind eye to it? Ah, here we go. This is a life or death decision. I need to think about it carefully. I really love these moments because of the music. Live or die. I was about to say, does the game give me a tutorial? But it does. Deadly choice. You will be faced with choices that can result in death. There is limited time and your soul power will continue to drain. Time's up or wrong answers will result in game over. So be quick, but also careful in finding the right answer. Restoring soul power. Completing a deadly choice will restore some soul power. Accelerated dialogue. Dialogue will be sped up while pressing the L button, but certain dialogue cannot be sped up. Backlog. Yeah, select button to bring up the backlog. Auto mode. Press the R button to activate auto mode. God. Hiding the dialogue window. Oh, you can press triangle. Oh. Standard visual novel fare. Then I shall ask you, will you quietly wait for death or struggle against the mark? Obviously the only choice is to struggle or fight. You can choose to wait for death, but then it gives you another choice to basically confirm. Fight. Fight the mark! That drains a lot quicker than I was expecting to. Jesus. Survived. Yeah, essentially if you choose to wait for death, it gives you another choice of do you really want to wait for death? And then also to fight. I've decided to trust you. As you say, Lord Yoshiki. And I shall carry out the dying wish of my master and aid you. I cannot do much, but feel free to request anything you wish of me. There we go. So I made up my mind, but that doesn't mean I know what I should do. I know squat about the supernatural, and losing my memory makes research impossible. But I don't have a moment to lose. A knock comes from the front door. So, who'd come here this late at night? Oh my, what a sign of fate. It seems that other mark bearers have arrived. Is it instinct that she knows these things? Maybe she has some kind of mysterious power, being a talking doll and all. I beg your pardon, Lord Yoshiki. I do apologise, but could you go greet our guests in my stead? They may experience a shock if a doll such as myself welcomes them. Moreover, while I am able to move my arms, I am unable to walk. Oh. I move to the front door to greet our guests. People fated to die, like me. I wonder what they're like. Insane. Who I find at the door are not who I'd expect to see out this late at night. Oh. A high schooler? Oh, and a small boy. These kids have the mark. No way. We came to see Professor Cujo. Who are you? I can't say I'm a total stranger since I am here in the mansion. I'm her disciple, relative, boyfriend. Relative. Oh, so you're her older brother. Your eyes do look kinda similar. She seems to know of Saya Cujo. Now that I think about it, that business card did say Spirit Healer. Going off this girl's accessories, I get the feeling she's a huge occult fan. I'm Mo... Oh, is it Mo or Moe? I'll just call her Mo. Watanabe. I'm here to talk to her about this article she wrote in the Oop Arts Monthly. Oop Arts? Try to think what OOP would stand for. Occult something paranormal? Maybe? She pulls an occult magazine out of her bag. Inside is a picture of the mark. The accompanying article says the scar is a soul-inhibiting disease that erases memories. Inquire at Cujo Mansion. This is the same scar, right? Mo lifts her skirt up a bit to show me her leg. Right there on her right thigh is the mark. I think I know what the article means by erasing memories. I've been super forgetful lately. I'm even blanking on my friends' names. That's never happened to me before. Do you think this scar's doing it? That article is obviously bogus. The young boy scoffs. Even kids know better than to believe in ghosts or curses these days. And a high schooler fell for it. You must feel embarrassed about that. But Tsukasa, weren't you hanging around out in front of the mansion's gate? Fess up, your scar scares you. Duh, why wouldn't it? It appeared out of nowhere, and they are forgetful. Or they are losing memories. Tsukasa seems to have no retort to that. He silently salutes. Looks like a bullseye. Although it is weird, they seem to be able to recall their name. So, it seems Kazuo has it slightly worse, I guess. It's clear they're both mark bearers. I better bring them over to meet Mary. I wonder if it matters depending on, like, how far along the mark is. So, like, the further along the mark is, or the closer the person is to death, the more forgetful they are. Because it did say we'll die at dawn, but we don't know what the time is. So Mo shrieks excitedly when she gets close. Oh my god, it's so cute! It's a doll, yeah? I've never seen one this big before. The craftsmanship is so detailed. When's Mary gonna talk? It's almost like it's alive. They're both admiring her when... There it is. Welcome to Gudo Mansion. What? It spoke? Yeah, I still don't really understand how that works. With that, the two new visitors join our number. They enter this monstrous world that hovers on the precipice of death. I don't know when the game gives you a chance to save. It does at some point, I know that much. So Mary tells Mo and Tsukasa about the mark once they regain their composure. All about the steady memory loss and their imminent death. It sounds like a ridiculous story, but it gains validity coming from someone like her. Both of their faces pale. Now, if you came specifically here because you believe Lady Saya's article, you must have already experienced the pain of losing your memories. Mo admitted as much earlier, but I can see Tsukasa's face darken, so it must be happening to him too. Hey Mo, I'd like to confirm something. Where were you when you got the mark? My amnesia seems to be worse than theirs, so they might remember. I'm not positive, but I think my mark might be a curse from Hanahiko. Hanahiko? This name is familiar to me. Hey Mocha, how's it going? This is sadly not in space, but it is spooky. He is the ghost the resident children of this town whisper about, correct? My master was interested in him. So Sayakujo was curious too. Could be connected to the mark somehow. I'd like to hear more about this ghost. As you wish, Lord Yushiki. Then I shall tell you the rumours of Hanahiko. And so begins Chapter 1. Hanahiko. Oh, I hate it. Blah. Whoa! Oh yeah, we're on the memories. Rumours. Oh, did you hear? About that ghost boy all the schools in H City are talking about. Sounds like Hanahiko is back. I heard that he can appear if you peek in a school mirror at night. He'll ask you something. Am I pretty? If you tell him no, you'll be fine, but if you say yes, give me that red stuff then. And then he just disappears. But that's not all. Hanahiko hates adults, you know. I heard that if the person he asks is an adult, they die. And not just drop dead. Their blood is drained from them. Right, so what we need to remember from that, and next to the corpse, is that, if he asks, am I pretty, say no, and then he hates adults. A rose dripping with blood. I wanted to bring up the log. It's fine, I can do that now. So what was it? So the blood is drained from them. Oh, and next to the corpse is a single rose. A rose dripping with blood. Rumours can be easily manipulated, passing from one person to another. Assumptions and errors mix in, but they also hold a hint of truth. Miss Mo, do you know anything else? I think I probably got my mark when I was investigating Hanahiko at H Elementary School. This has got to be some sort of clue. I should ask her more about it. Oh. Yeah, why were you there? My big dream is to write about the occult, so I'd love to see a ghost. There are better dreams to have. I found this article in a magazine mentioning Hanahiko was seen there. I figured that place would be easier to sneak in than a regular school, since it's been closed down. What should I ask next? Was Hanahiko there? I don't think so, but I can't really say for sure. I went to the mirror, but a shiver suddenly ran down my spine. I got spooked and left. What should I ask next? When did you notice the mark? I noticed it later in the bath. A strange scar was suddenly on my thigh. It really surprised me. I realised immediately that it had to be what Professor Kuta wrote about. I think I have a handle on what happened. No way to know for sure about the ghost. But there's no denying she had the mark after returning home from Age Elementary. The thing that gets me is how would you get a mark, but not notice it? It's like you're just marked, but it only seems to take effect once you notice it, I guess. And maybe Tsukasa glances down at his left hand. Mine might be from Hanahiko too. I noticed it after I got home from T Elementary. That ghost was seen at a lot of schools in H City, right? Maybe he's remembering something, or remembered something. I better ask him some questions too. T Elementary? I go to school there. You've probably heard of it since it's the top-ranked elementary school, or elementary, in H City. Okay, when was that? Maybe around sunset? I was heading home until I realised I forgot something and turned back. Did you see Hanahiko? No, and I didn't get chills or anything either. Oh, but I did. I think I passed a mirror. I went to the bathroom before going home. I don't think he knows anymore. Their stories are pretty similar to the Hanahiko rumours. It can't be just a coincidence. You must investigate the places where Hanahiko appeared. For their sake, as well as yours. That's all well and good, but what exactly am I investigating? Death and life coexisting. If the mark originated there, then a way to erase it will also be there. You must find it. Find the key you need to break the mark's curse. That is the only way to escape. And all of a sudden, a huge burden was dropped on my shoulders. It seems that Hanahiko appeared at 2 schools. Well, will you investigate? H or T? I get the feeling that this is one of those where it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll go to H. That's where the rumour originated anyway. Yeah, that's probably wise. They'd arrest you on the spot if you tried to sneak into a regular school. That too. A middle-aged man who can't recall his name, let alone an address or job title. I'd have no excuses if I got caught. Wanna get going then? Let's do this. Wait, you're coming too? Of course. I haven't given up on seeing Hanahiko yet. She grins at me. Is she really strong, or is this blind optimism? I'm going too. Hey, not you too. Seriously? My life's on the line here. I don't want the reason I died to be because you messed something up. That's pretty bold. Good thing you're cute. But to bring kids along with me is... I understand your hesitation. But the mark does not discriminate, stealing lives of children and adults. If they wish to fight their fate, you should honour that. I suppose human logic doesn't fly when dealing with the supernatural. We'll need to prepare ourselves for the worst if we're going to survive. Please take only one mark bearer with you, however. A large group will increase the odds of you being detected by spirits. I also ask that you not waste time dawdling with others on the way. It is possible unnecessary contact may hasten the effects of the mark. Only engage when absolutely necessary. Keep contact with others to a minimum. God, I didn't expect her to talk. That scared me. Have a safe trip. Don't I get to save? Oh, there we go. Select a partner. First, select a mark bearer. Do this in the partner menu. Oh yeah, hey mister. Don't you think it'd be a good idea to take notes on what Mary told us? Your memory's getting worse all the time. We don't want to forget anything. I don't know when I'll lose my memory again. I'll write down all the information I get and keep it in my file. Something in it might just save our lives at some point. New info was added to the spirit file. Rumors of Hanahiko. Other. Spirit file. So important info on spirits will be added to the spirit file. Check it from your bag. Consult it if you need help. Saving and loading. Save at the mansion or haunts. Return to the title screen for the bag to load. Then choose continue. Ah, there we go. Save. Yay! Finally. Shish.